Hello, this is Gangadhar, and today I'll be talking about optical communications for data centers. New applications generate enormous amount of data traffic every day, as well as the storage or transfer of all the associated traffic by huge inter or intra data exchanges in data centers become crucial these days. In past, conventional CMOS based electronic circuits were used to implement the memories, processors, servers, and switches that are essential computing or networking infrastructure elements housed within the data centers, while electrical wires were used to interconnect them. However, since about 2005, one chip clock frequencies were unable to follow this upward trend due to strict power budget and heat dissipation constraints. Thus, a shift to multi-core processors, each operating at low clock frequencies, was adopted as an alternate solution for overcoming the performance scaling problem. Of course, another way to scale up the performance of a DC is to increase the number of servers that it encompasses. To interconnect the resulting huge number of servers, DC operators need to improve the performance of the data center networks. Finally, a third possible way to scale up the capabilities of data center operators is to deploy many data centers so that they will be located closer to the end users. Optical communication technologies offer potential for abundant quantities of bandwidth to be processed at the speed of light, and therefore are considered as the best solution to keep growing the performance of DCs by improving the interconnect performance across all the different levels of the interconnect hierarchy. The current and future challenges. In, in today, DCs, a key challenge is the scalability to higher capacities per interconnection link and to higher switching throughput. In both intra and inter DCs, there is a steady progression towards greater than 100G line rates following the new 100G standards. The new interconnection technologies that will support the required performance improvement need to prove first their power and cost efficiency and meet the targets. The target values for these main two parameters are summarized in the next table, covering the whole range of interconnect hierarchy. Advances in science and technology to meet challenges. To overcome the fundamental limitations of electronic transmission via copper wires, optical interconnects based on VCSEL and multimode fiber implemented with simple NRG OOK formats and direct detection receivers without any special electronic processing are utilized in short reach intra DC communication due to their technical simplicity, low cost, and low power consumption. In order to scale further the interface speeds for inter-DCNs, the first approach is to increase the band rate and use high order modulation formats, as example PAM4. In order to increase the number of bits per symbol, subsequently future DCNs will utilize transceivers that will implement WDM. To achieve the low cost targets, monolithically integrated WDM or SDM transceivers are considered alongside relevant photonic integrated circuits. Such new higher speed interfaces will further push the bandwidth requirements both for the TORs and aggregate switches. Eventually, current electronic switches will not be able to keep up with these required growth of switching capacity at reasonable power consumption. It is expected that by the end of this decade, new power efficient optical switching solutions will be introduced to gradually replace core and aggregate switches initially and TOR switches subsequently. The first approach considers the separation of high volume and high capacity flows from the smaller low capacity flows and switch them using two separate dedicated networks running in parallel, for example see-through, Helios, DOS schemes, etc. The second approach consists of switching of all the data at the packet or near packet uh, granularity in the optical domain without resorting to either electronic switching or optical circuit switching, although hybrid approaches are also possible. So, concluding this, it is inevitable that optics will further penetrate into DCs and will dominate gradually the different level of interconnect hierarchy. Only with such novel optical technologies, it will be possible to maintain the capacity scaling of DCs at reasonable power consumption and cost. The role of photonics in future computing and data centers. Cloud computing has become an essential part of our daily lives. We rely on these computers for everything like healthcare, entertainment, shopping, etc. However, today's data centers and computing systems have reached scalability power limitations to scale further. Centers are consuming megawatts of power, and desire to realize exascale computing is seriously challenging by the power limitation. As we can see the figure below, this indicates the exponential growth of supercomputer performance. This yellow line indicates the lowest, lowest computer performance, and the red line indicates the highest one, and the blue one indicates sum of everything. As we can see, the performance is growing up to 250 trillion flops per second, which is a huge. Our current time at exascale computing by year 2020 is unrealistic unless the energy consumption for the operation goes at least an order of magnitude below the current level, at which is at zero 0.5 nanojoule per flop. According to Looney, energy efficiency of computing doubles for every 1.5 years. But according to the graph which we can see below, the Kumi's law is started breaking. As we can see, the graph getting flattened to the end, and the figure which is in the below illustrates the continuation of Moore's law, while the Nénard's law has stopped to keep pacing from with the Moore's law beyond 2004, which is so bad. While the number of transistors continues to increase, new solution for improving energy efficiency is no longer about increasing the clock speed in large scale processors, but rather by introducing many small processors running at moderate clock speed and interconnecting them. Furthermore, as we can see, the number of cores and total concurrency are increasing exponentially, now approaching or exceeding 1 million in a large computing and data systems. It is now evident that electronics around are unable to meet the requirements of the future computing, supporting the massive bandwidth, concurrency, and connectivity requirements, scaling to nearly 1 billion concurrencies and cores for exascale computing. Photonics interconnect offer a disruptive technology solution that fundamentally changes the computing architectural design considerations. Optics provide ultra high throughput, massive parallelism, minimal access latencies, low power dissipation that remains independent of capacity and distance. Optical interconnects everywhere. As we can see the table below, this illustrates the interconnection hierarchy in computing systems for typical dimensions and targeted every energy and cost budget to stay competitive against electronic counterparts. The above figure illustrates the advantage of optical link by reducing the cost, power, and complexity when compared to the electronic link. Electronic link may have many power losses, but optical link is a direct link which will we won't have much power losses in it. Like there will be very less, which we can negotiate. Neglect. And we can see, as we can see in the figure 7, it shows a generic optical transceiver which requires additional optical components but reduces the requirement for clock and data recovery circuits. Optical data can achieve multiple terabytes per second communication on parallel wavelength with negligible loss, crosstalk, and distortion of fibers, such that repeaters become unnecessary for typical data centers or computing centers, and the equalizers can be simpler. As we can see in figure 8, that indicates typical computing and data centers utilize interconnection of various size electronic switch in many cascaded stages. But due to limitations in radix and bandwidth of electronic switch, the inefficiency of cascaded switch stages compounds, especially in terms of latency and power consumption, and this is one of the key reasons behind challenges of parallel programming. Optical parallelism and wavelength routing capability of arrayed wavelength grating routers, which are called AWGRs, can collapse the entire network to a single hook and flattened interconnection topology as shown in the figure 9. AWGR is passive wavelength routing component that enables all optical switching. The main difference between electronic crossbar switch and AWGR switch is that The N-to-N AWGR switch provides simultaneously fully connected to all the interconnections, thus providing n-square simultaneous connected links. There is no switching component within the core of AWGR switch fabric. The switch component scales linearly as number of connection links supported by the link switch. The AWGR supports parallel wavelength interconnection covering the huge optical bandwidth which is greater than 20 terahertz. As we can see in figure 10, that demonstrates the well-known wavelength property of N-to-N AWGR supports simultaneous and non-blocking interconnections of each of n input poles with all of n output poles by using n wavelengths. The next figure shows us an AWGR based hybrid interconnecting architecture referred to as lightweight interconnect optical network switch on, which are called LION switch. LION uses label switching with the optical label transmitted on the different wavelength. The figure shows below shows the effective bandwidth and the end-to-end latency of LIONs comparing with the flattened butterfly network under a 32 and 128 node of message size of 128 bytes. The first figure below illustrates the working principle of all the optical token where saturable reflective SOA reflects the first packet with high gain while the others with lower saturation gain. By placing RSOAs at each receiver, there can be as many parallel tokens available in the network as the number of receivers in the network. In figure 14 illustrates a passive N-to-N AWGR without tunable lasers can interface and compute nodes or processor to support many parallel interconnections up to n square. Each node has a transmitter array that uses KT ring modulators to generate the data packets and KR receivers with ring filler to receive packets. The passive LIONs can be in multiple hierarchy with interfaces between the same and higher hierarchy, as figure 15 illustrates for chip to chip hierarchy and board to board hierarchy. The figure 16 shows the performance study of proposed architecture based on 64 into 64 AWGR under various configurations, as you can see below. And the first figure shows the photograph of a fabricated silicon photonic N-to-N LIONs chip for n equal to 4, KT equal to 4 and KR equal to 4. And the graphs here are based on the experimental bit error rate measured for the first one is 4 by 1 routing and for the second one is 1 by 4 routine demonstration in this chip. AWGR can scale to 2010 ports and have been demonstrated on a silicon photonic chip for 512 into 512 LIONs except achieve orders of magnitude increases in switching capacity connectivity through throughput and latency compared to electronic counterparts while providing all-to-all connectivity without connection. Silicon photonic integrated circuits and athermalization. The photonic devices are large in physical size and fabrication resolution compared to electronic devices. Thus, the number of devices to be integrated in a die can be orders of magnitude lower. The challenges of photonic electronic integration lies in the process compatibility between photonic and electronic ICs, isolation, crosstalk, yield and heat density. The first figure shows the silicon photonic transmitter and receivers realized on the same electronic platform as silicon CMOS. And the next figure illustrates as the 3D photonic electronic integration build up on an already active 3D electronic integration with through silicon visa, which is termed as TSVs. The silicon photonics must maintain nearly constant optical response across the operation temperature range. The highest temperature sensitivity of silicon material, which is thermo-optical coefficient of silicon, is 1.8 into 10 power minus 4 per Kelvin, which is 20 times greater than compared to that of silica, makes this challenging. The below figure illustrates fabricated athermal micro resonator modulators and experimental testing of the fabricated devices with various waveguide widths showing nearly perfect athermalization as well as blue shift and red shift depending on the waveguide width. Benchmarking evaluations. New computing paradigms and architectures must be put to test under actual workloads. Figure below shows the comparison between the performance of an AWGR based all-to-all fully connected network that of AWGR based Lions with three variations, and that to an electronic flattened butterfly network. The giga update per second, which is called GUPS benchmarking, shows the AWGR based to all interconnection results in a 16-fold increase and approaches the theoretical maximum GUPS. Future computing systems must be compared in the context of expected workloads and optimized based on the workloads towards most efficient design, configuration, and operation. As we come to the conclusion, the exponential and sustained increase in computing and data centers needs are driving the demands for exascale computing in the future. Power efficient and parallel computing with balanced system design is essential for reaching the goal. Photonic interconnects offers a disruptive technology solution that fundamentally changes the computing architecture design considerations. Our optics provide ultra high throughput, massive parallelism, minimal access latencies, low power dissipation that remains independent of capacity and distance. Practical and scalable development of photonic interconnected computing systems are likely to be aided by emergence of thermal silicon photonics and hybrid integration technologies. Thank you.